What? Yeah, I think so. Okay with you?
Hold on one second.
Anna's with somebody, but I don't know who. It does look like she's in her office.
Congratulations, but we know we're still going to see you unless you move away. We don't travel. You'll have to come back and visit, but we are very excited for your future away from this.
And we love you, Sue. You really have been great.
You're our anchor. That was the word I thought of.
So whatever the next stage is,
we're with you.
Enjoy it fully.
And we'll be at the event.
Oh, good.
In fact, I'm dressed up for the event right now.
Nice.
I'm going to stay in these clothes until October 28th.
So we met Sue in Raleigh in 2019, and we'd like to thank you for all the work with NTSAD and inviting us and getting us over there.
We would like to wish you all the best
going forward.
We actually have a similar background with the Chicago Cubs. So we bonded over that. So I want to say good luck to the Cubs, but I also want to say good luck to Susan for all the rest of her endeavors. It was wonderful meeting her and having her involved, and she did great things with NTSAD. Puts us in a very good direction. Thank you.
Hey Sue, just wanted to say congratulations and thank you so much for 14 years of hard work. Ava, say thank you, Sue. Thank you.
Hi, Sue. The Miller family wanted to stop by and congratulate you on 14 years with NTSAD. You've made such a huge impact on not only our lives, but so many others over the last decade and a half. We wanted to thank you for all of your hard work and wish you the best of luck in your next chapter. Say bye, Wesley. Say congratulations, Sue.
Hi, Sue. Having been a part of NTSAD for 12 of your 14 years, I can attest to the fact that you are absolutely the epitome of driving research, forging collaboration, and fostering community. Having seen now from both sides of the same coin the work that you do to support families, further research, and care for everyone along every step of this journey, again, I can attest to the fact that you do it, as you say, with both your brain and your heart. We're so grateful for you. I don't know where we go from here, but I'm glad to have shared these last 12 years with you, and I thank you for being such a welcoming, encouraging, and inspiring mentor for me and for everyone who's a part of NTSAD.
A tribute in 6 bullet points to Sue Kahn. Leaving Genzyme, Sue imagined what it would be like to work for a nonprofit. She believed that the skills she had acquired and developed in her previous careers in the private sector would be applicable and relevant in new ways. She researched and deliberated some options and hoped that she was making the right decision. The inspiration for her career move was due mostly to NTSAD's mission statement. Sue's determination to succeed is reflected in the stunning growth of NTSAD during her tenure as its executive director, particularly its crucial support for movement into clinical trials. In short, dear Sue Kahn, we are deeply grateful for your 14+ years of dedicated efforts at NTSAD and wish you the best of mazal and continued fulfillment during the next chapter of your life, which has been marked by a consistent, undeviating level of menschlichkeit. Love from me, Dan Kirshner, your spouse.
Hello, and welcome to Imagine and Believe. My name is Orly Marquardt. I am the Vice President of NTSAD's Board of Directors, and most importantly, mom to William. When William was diagnosed in 2007 with GM1 gangliosidosis, my husband and I were devastated. We couldn't imagine how we would care for him as his disease progressed, nor did we believe we had the strength to survive it. Shortly after William's diagnosis, we were connected to NTSAD, and we were embraced by a community that became our lifeline. Through the support that we received from other families, we began to imagine and then believe that we could care for William and give him the best life possible. NTSAD also gave us hope that effective treatments for GM1, as well as for Tay Sachs, Canavan, and Tanhof diseases would be found. Today, because of NTSAD's commitment to driving research, forging collaborations, and supporting families like mine, there are companies working on drug development and several clinical trials underway. It's pretty powerful to think how far we have come. None of this could have been done without you. I want to take this time and moment to thank each of you for your continued support and for attending tonight's event. I would also like to acknowledge and thank our sponsors of Imagine and Believe. Special thanks to our title sponsor, Aspa Therapeutics. Thanks to our Believe sponsor, Taysha Gene Therapies, all our industry partners, and generous individuals, including many of my fellow board members, for supporting tonight's event. Together, we have already raised $100,000 towards programs and services for families. Thank you. You make it possible for our family services team to support families and individuals around the world through one-on-one professional support, mentoring and peer groups, information and resources, and of course, the annual family conference. If you have not done so already, please consider making a donation in support of NTSAD for families like mine. You'll see a QR code on your screen to make a donation using your phone. It's easy. Just turn your camera on your phone and point your phone at the QR code. We also have a link in the chat for you. Thank you again for your support. We have a wonderful program in store for you. During the hour, you'll learn what's ahead for NTSAD, and you'll hear from several families. Stacy Kalish, board president, and Blythe Lord, the immediate past president, will lead the tribute to tonight's honoree, Sue Kahn, NTSAD's executive director for the past 14 years. At the end of the speaking program, we hope you will stick around and thank and congratulate Sue too. I want to take this moment to personally congratulate and thank Sue for her leadership. When my family became part of the NTSAD family in 2007, we were introduced to Sue, who at that time was the new executive director. Since then, I have witnessed firsthand the impact that Sue has made for families like mine. Because of her vision and her leadership, NTSAD is stronger. Family support services, which have always been a cornerstone of the organization, were expanded significantly. Research initiatives grew into the development of potential treatments, and industry took notice of our rare diseases and joined the fight to help save the lives of our children. Thank you, Sue, for not only guiding the organization to where it is today, but for doing so in the most compassionate way. Our family appreciated every little note of encouragement you sent to us and every mention in remembrance of William. Each note was so meaningful and a testament to the genuine care that you have for the families of NTSAD. Thank you, Sue, for imagining and believing. The work of NTSAD continues, and we are planning for the future. This July, I become NTSAD's next board president. Also in July, we will be hosting the first in-person annual family conference in 3 years. The 44th annual conference will be held from July 7th to 10th in Denver, Colorado. I hope you'll be able to join us. NTSAD remains committed to improving the lives of children and adults affected by these rare diseases by continuing the push for effective treatments and therapies. We have hired our first ever research director, Valerie Greger, who joined NTSAD this September. Soon, we'll be launching the next research grant award cycle. And after an extensive national search, we have found NTSAD's next leader. We are so thrilled to have found Kathy Flynn, who brings a wealth of experience, including management expertise that spans nonprofit, corporate, and academic environments. Prior to joining NTSAD, Kathy served in leadership roles at the American Liver Foundation, the Arthritis Foundation, Yale Law School, and Mercy Learning Center. While Kathy officially starts next week, she has already been working with Sue to ensure a smooth transition. And she is here tonight to share a few words. It is with my pleasure to introduce Kathy Flynn.
Thank you, Orly, and good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to join you for Imagine and Believe and to pay tribute to Sue Kahn for her steadfast leadership since 2007. It's a privilege to follow you, Sue. I am truly honored to serve as NTSAD's next leader. I bring with me 3 decades of experience in the corporate, academic, and nonprofit sectors. Many of those years were dedicated to healthcare advocacy organizations. In the coming weeks and months, I welcome the opportunity to connect and get to know you as I join the NTSAD community, an extraordinary community with a powerful mission that puts patients and families first. With more than a dozen drug development and clinical trials underway, the future holds great promise. Patient families have always been and will continue to be at the core of all we do. I look forward to building on Sue's legacy and the NTSAD successes by working closely with families, the board, staff, industry stakeholders, researchers, and clinicians as together we continue our efforts in identifying effective treatments and therapies in the fight against Tay Sachs, Canavan, GM1, and standoff diseases. Thank you and congratulations, Sue.
Thank you and welcome, Kathy. We look forward to working with you. We feel lucky to have you as our next leader. Now, it is my honor to shine a light on the very heart of the NTSAD community and why we are here this evening, the families. Tonight, a few families graciously share their perspective and experiences with us. They also talk about their loved ones and what makes them special.
Javi was about 15 months old. We ended up at our 3rd neurology appointment and got the diagnosis of Tay Sachs.
When those results came back, we were completely leveled. For someone who never spoke a word, who never said mama or dada, she was so loud and so clear about what was important.
she had a presence about her and a calmness and a perspective and a wisdom that you couldn't help but feel that you were in the presence of something sacred and someone sacred.
This is not a journey that begins at diagnosis and ends at death. It's something that is present every day and will be for the rest of our lives. And having the support and the family of NTSAD who have gone through this before us, and can be there to help and guide, and even just to say, we know what you're experiencing. We've lived what you're experiencing. That is tremendously powerful and helpful.
She was the greatest. She was the greatest. She was born on the 21st of December at 9:46, 7 pounds, 13 ounces, 21 and a half inches, like came out screaming with a full head of hair. So she was like a great kid. Like her life was like super hard. She had very poor vision. She was scared a lot. She had a lot of tummy issues. But she would go through like a really hard moment, and then a second later, she was like smiling and laughing. She was like she has such a great sense of humor.
I know for me, like when we got that call from our geneticist, like it was like devastating. Like it was just like the roof caving in.
And as we were driving back, it was like this conversation of like, well, if this is like terminal, like what are we gonna do? And, you know, we kind of like focused on like quality over quantity. We were like, we're not going to get what we want, but like, can we at least like make it really good?
One of the services that we got through hospice care was music therapy. I was able to participate in that with her, and it was just a really beautiful moment just to see her light up and interact.
I was always like a good backup singer for the two of them. And I didn't mind playing that role because I just wanted to be part of the party at some point. We spent every single day of the last 10 months of her life, like she only lived 10 months after her diagnosis, with her, holding her, like near her, close to her, just with her the whole time.
We have like a flag on our grave with like a picture of her, and we just changed it today to like a Halloween, a montage of her, like several Halloween costumes.
For me, it's like really taking care of her and like representing her life, like the way she like lived it, which was like super bright and colorful and happy. And
I'm gonna do this because I love my daughter, and I want her place to feel like really special.
Yes.
I'll talk about Jason first. He's our warrior. That's what it says on his gravestone. So he died right before he was 36. Now I'll talk about Josh, who was born in 1992. He is 29 today, and he is full of surprises, more than Jason.
We initially had them in separate rooms, and then we built one big room where they could both be in. The minute you go into the room, you get quiet inside yourself. You get in almost an altered state of consciousness. You felt like you were in touch with something deeper every time you went into the room. We love the fact that Jason was just about the oldest kid that ever lived who had cannabis disease. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. But you know, they've been with us for half of our adult lives. Your life dramatically changed, and then you begin to feel very different from all the other families that you know who don't have kids like this. You know, we're the long haulers, not to use a COVID analogy, but so we're in a unique situation. Some people find that inspiring, some people find that horrifying. We've been able, you just adapt.
It's absolutely thrilling to see these families at the conferences with hope and with action and future thinking.
We have accepted our situation, but for people to have some hope is so critical. And, we never had hope per se that they would get better. And that was difficult and also helpful in a way, because then we could just accept them for who they were.
And be thrilled for the community that was moving on.
Right.
Vale she just turned 3 years old last month. She is a beautiful, happy little girl. She was diagnosed with Canavan disease at 6 months old. The support is there from friends and family, but the understanding isn't. I always got that I don't know what to say. And I kept saying, I'm glad you don't know what to say, because that means that you have never experienced this, and I hope you never know what to say. But by reaching out to NTSAD and being put in touch with other families who know exactly what I was going through, it's invaluable. About, I think it's like 6 weeks ago, the great news came out that the FDA has approved the trial and they're going to be moving ahead, and Vale, she's aged out. So, for kind of 2 years, really been holding on to hope that maybe, just maybe, a chance at treatment. And then to be told that, she's too old now is heartbreaking. Every month or so, there's a new family that is introduced to our community on our Facebook page, and it's heartbreaking. But those children now that are being introduced to the group have a chance, and I mean, I would give anything for that to be Vale. The timing maybe just wasn't on our side. I want more than anything for there to be a cure for this.
First we had Hampus, of course he was first, and then pretty close onto Hampus we got Julia and Isabella as well. We were a bit surprised about getting twins, and it was a bit overwhelming. We're just very focused on trying to manage the everyday life. And then eventually you get the diagnosis. And that was, for Hampus, that was like our worlds just fell apart. But we didn't expect Julia and Isabella to have the same disease at the time. That was something we learned 6 months later. You sort of imagine them living forever, and suddenly someone says that won't be. Yeah, just to like cope with that situation, you sort of push those thoughts away a little bit, and you try to find things that can bring a little bit of hope. But I also remember one of the seminars at the NTSAD conference, they talked about what kind of patients are ideal for a trial. And I felt that what he described was something that fitted for our children. So, the trials opened for applications in May, I think, May 2019. And we knew that we were on the list by June that year, and that we were doing these tests. And in January 2020, that's when we knew that they could participate in the trial. So you see like both progressions and some digressions. So we don't really know what to think, but we feel like it has at least done some good for them. They have certainly become more stable.
Hampus, he's in school right now. He cannot longer stand by himself. He uses his walker, and he loves to walk, so he can walk for
miles.
You say, yeah. And he's a really happy child. Isabella, she's really loving and caring. She loves babies and little dolls. And Julia, she's really sweet girl. She's very shy and she likes to read books. Just a thought that we may have changed something for us or for someone. I think we don't know if this will work, or at least we think it done something, but
Yeah.
just the hope and just to get more time with your child.
Also, you like to feel that like our kids can do something, even if they have this disease. They can benefit from the trial, but they can also help others in the future. And that's sort of like that's like important to us in a way, that they have contributed to this.
Hi, I'm Stacey Callis, President of the NTSAD Board of Directors. Thank you to everyone who participated in the video, sharing their experiences and stories about their loved ones. You are the reason we are here tonight and have been here every day for the last 64 years. I want to echo orally in welcoming Kathy. We are fortunate to have her years of experience, passion for helping others, and incredible talent to build on NTSAD's strong foundation. Welcome, Kathy. Also, thank you to our generous sponsors and supporters of the event. Proceeds from tonight's Imagine and Believe event go towards programs and services for our families. Please consider making a donation tonight. There's a link in the chat box to make a donation online. There's also a QR code appearing on the screen right now, so you can use your phone to make a donation. Just turn on your phone's camera and point your phone at the QR code. It will take you to the NTSAD donation website. Thank you. As the child of a Tay Sachs carrier couple, I have been involved with NTSAD since I was a kid. Today, I remain a proud member of the NTSAD community. In my role as board president and as a medical geneticist, I have witnessed years of effort and fully understand how far we have come towards clinical trials. Today is the day we have been imagining and believing in for decades, where we have multiple active clinical trials across all 4 diseases: Tay Sachs, Canavan, GM1, and Tanhof. It is truly an extraordinary moment in our history. We know there is more work to be done. It's still too early to know the effectiveness of these treatments, and sadly, many families will not be able to participate in trials. But here we are with real promise for the first time, and I know we are poised to sustain our incredible momentum toward finding effective treatments and therapies. Tonight, let's pause to reflect on our collective journey and celebrate our shared successes as we honor and thank Sue Khan for leading NTSAD to this moment. I have known Sue throughout her 14 years with NTSAD. I joined the board about 20 years ago, and I have worked closely with Sue since she became our executive director. Under Sue's leadership, NTSAD has grown tremendously. We have been able to support an increasing number of families, both nationally and around the world. In addition, Sue has led our efforts in advancing research, guiding our board and scientific advisory committee in selecting projects for funding. Sue also formed a corporate advisory council to help us understand the path from the bench to clinical trials. Recognizing the importance of NTSAD's role in clinical trial readiness, Sue led efforts with our partners to create the infrastructure needed for clinical trials to happen. As more scientists and pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies became interested in our diseases, Sue positioned NTSAD as a vital partner. Sue advocated for families' active participation in preparing for clinical trials so their important voices could be heard. Sue's greatest strengths are seeing where we need to go and being able to create the path to get there. She also knew who and when to ask for help. Because of her talents, skills, and incredible work ethic, Sue has led to
NTSAD to clinical trials for all of our diseases. Sue has also planned where we are headed next, expanding NTSAD's research focus to include newborn screening and early diagnosis initiatives. Sue grew the NTSAD staff. Our team now includes 2 people dedicated to family services, a 2-person development and communications team, and our first ever research director. Sue strengthened the organization too, professionalizing our board, raising significant funds, and growing NTSAD's assets throughout her 14 years with us. We are truly indebted to you, Sue. What I appreciate most about Sue is her ability to bring people together. She is a natural collaborator. She knows who to engage and how they can help NTSAD continue to move forward. I will miss spending time with Sue. I've learned so much from her. Thank you, Sue, for 14 years of extraordinary leadership and your tremendous dedication to NTSAD families and our mission. And now we have a few more people who have worked closely with Sue over the years who were interviewed recently to join our tribute to Sue.
Honestly, the minute that I met her, I was excited and thought she was hoped that she would be the next executive director of NTSAD. I think what was so clear was that this was somebody who had a vision for where NTSAD could go. And that's what I was really excited about. You know, bringing that experience that she had in research and in biotech and the excitement of working with families, that was a place that NTSAD was hoping to go.
Yeah, she came on board and she just was very gentle and very, patient with me. I'm wearing the necklace she gave me too when she had just started. And from there, we just have been I think friendship and partnership has grown. She has this ability to look at the big picture. She knows how to work with all the pieces and bringing them together to get us ahead. She really believes in collaboration, which I think has been a big part of us moving forward and getting to where we are now, because you really do have to look at who's in this space and how you can bring them together and keep things moving.
So Sue had become the new director of the NTSAD, and this was in 2007, I think. And we was at the time when me and a number of colleagues decided to form a consortium to work on gene therapy or AAV gene therapy for Tay Sachs disease. In fact, it's not even a research project we had going. This was an idea that was based on work that some colleagues in the UK had done, and we wanted to take that and evolve, really move towards a clinical trial. And I mean, without that seed funding, if you will, and it was not insignificant, actually it was pretty large from NTSAD, and the project wouldn't exist.
NTSAD as an organization has had fantastic success in the balance of serving families and forwarding research, and I think educating families in research every year. And Sue has really been at the fore of that for the whole time she's been here, and allowing families to share with each other, and allowed researchers to see the families and talk to the families and get a feel for what it's like to be a family member and to have a child with a condition. All of these things have synergized.
Sue, and in particular NTSAD community, really helped Sanofi Genzyme start building a natural history of the disease. So years before there was a clinical trial, she invited us into the conference to do assessments, to meet the families, not just for the assessments, but really also the exposure to the condition and to the burden that it caused beyond the clinical symptoms. And I think that emotional connection became really important for the sustainability of the program.
Sue was one of the first people specific to our GM1 and GM2 gangliosidosis programs to bring in that outside perspective. And it wasn't about how do these gene therapies work. It wasn't about the size and duration of the clinical trials. It was what does this mean to families that have been impacted by Tay Sachs in the past or are currently living through an issue with their child. And she made it tangible. She made it real to understand, okay, what are the simple things that families are looking for in gene therapies? And I think that NTSAD's connection to the community, but not just a broad connection, a personal connection, knowing caregivers, knowing these children, knowing where they are from a disease perspective was invaluable to us.
These are rare and actually ultra rare diseases. And the fact that we now have 3 clinical trials going simultaneously for GM1 and 3 clinical trials simultaneously going for GM2 and another one on the launching pad, you know, is tribute to the energy of the organization. And obviously that's, you know, Sue has fed that and nurtured that for the whole time she's been here.
We are a strong board, made all the stronger because of Sue's leadership. The board has undergone quite a transformation in the past 10 years, particularly as more professional voices have come onto the board. It feels like the scope of the work has gotten bigger, and she has had her arms around the scope of the work and has helped the board move into that bigger, broader, more ambitious space.
I think Sue's also really thoughtful, and she's made a really big point throughout her tenure of really showing appreciation and recognizing those who have helped NTSAD succeed. So whether it's recognizing families who are holding events regardless of the size, you know, thanking and recognizing our scientific, you know, partners who are educating our families or, you know, guiding our path, even recognizing board members as they step down from their board. She's always been really thoughtful in recognizing those who've been involved in our success. Sue has been fantastic for our organization, and she's really been, you know, our fearless leader. But I do think that she's leaving us in a great position, and I think that her vision has really set a path forward that we'll continue to follow.
Where we've come in the last 14 years is sort of breathtaking and wonderful and exciting, and it's been a joy sharing it with you, or sharing parts of it with you. And I wish you so much good fortune and good luck, and all the best to you and your family going forward.
I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss the meetings, all of them after 10 in the morning. And I hope that you re-engage and continue to come back and think about doing your hair purple.
Your spirit, the positive attitude and determination that you brought to your job every day at NTSAD, we carry that forward here on your behalf at Stalio. And we wish you all the best in where your paths take you after NTSAD, and we thank you so much for your leadership and partnership over the years. Best of luck.
I'm looking forward to celebrating you both at the Imagine and Believe event and also at World 2022, where you will join a distinguished group of advocates in receiving the Patient Advocacy Leadership Award. I am so grateful to know you and so appreciative of the many drops of wisdom that you have given to me over our 4 years together, and wish you continued health and happiness.
We really couldn't have done this without you. This is something that you can be proud for the rest of your life, that you had a huge impact in the development of gene therapy for Tay Sachs disease, and I consider you a friend, and I wish you the best luck in your next steps in life.
Sue, thank you for your 14 years of leadership, for leading our families and our board and our staff. We all, you know, are forever indebted to the path that you've set NTSAD on and the mark that you've left here. And I'm sure that we will continue to make you proud.
Hello, everyone. I am Blythe Lord. I'm the mother to Cameron, the aunt of Hayden, and I'm the immediate past president of the board. It is my pleasure to continue honoring you, Sue. We hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you to everyone who participated. I really loved seeing so many of those photos, especially you in the kayak, Sue. So we have heard a lot about Sue as a visionary leader, a collaborator, a strategic and smart thinker, a person with an incredible network. And this is all true. Thank goodness. I am also now going to bring you to the space where families like mine and those you've heard from tonight live every day. That space is filled with equal measures of grief, joy, hope, desperation, determination, and passion. Over time, you, Sue, found your place in that space, acquainting yourself with individual families, their children, and their stories, and keeping them in your mind's eye always. Sue, I suspect that one of the first places you entered was my house, when my brother-in-law, Tim, who was then on the board, brought you over to meet me and my husband, Charlie, who's right here, right after you became the executive director. At the time, my family was raising money for Tay Sachs research, but had very little idea for what the path ahead looked like. This was before the Tay Sachs consortium that Miguel spoke about. We, like many other families, were essentially blind. You listened as we told you our story about Cameron and what we hoped for. You were a caring, curious, attentive, and quiet presence. Another space, Sue, where I have clear memories of you is at the annual family conference, all of them. For those of you who don't know, Sue is a very authentic person. And while confident, she is not showy or ego-driven. Sue doesn't want to be the center of attention or the loudest voice in the room. Sue is observant. And this manner means that at the family conference, she keeps her eyes on families, she greets individuals, but mostly she leaves them to each other, knowing that this is what they have come for. They have come to be with each other, to support and learn from each other, and to learn about the research. Sue produces an incredible research agenda, making sure industry is there to learn from families and educate. And she steps back to let the family-to-family magic do its thing. While NTSAD is always the host of the conference, it is the families that are the VIP, and Sue keeps to the background. Sue, you always did this just right. And then, Sue, there is how you hold your own space. You know your own mind. You clearly trust yourself, even if that means you have to collect information from 5 to 10 other people. When things got a little tricky at various intervals, and some of us know what those tricky moments were, you remained a calm and steady presence for the staff, for the board, and for our partners. NTSAD never skipped a beat. And Sue, you are also so stubborn, yes, which always served you and NTSAD well when things were going off plan. You were never deterred. As a family member, Sue, I came into this space, my husband, Charlie, and I came into this space under a cloud of grief with just a glimmer of hope. With a merciful passage of time and you at the helm of NTSAD, I now experience this space as filled with hope and a remaining wedge of grief that remains for me and every affected family. You have helped hold that space for me and others. Thank you. I have learned from you, Sue. I am grateful for you, Sue, and I will miss you. Now, it is my pleasure on behalf of the entire NTSAD community, and with a little help from Deanna Pangonis, our Director of Family Services, we are going to present you with a small token of our love and appreciation for you, Sue. A crystal heart. Oh, good. There it is. A crystal heart that reads, Sue Khan, NTSAD Executive Director, 14 years forging collaboration, driving research, and supporting families. Thank you for your extraordinary leadership. And now, if those of you who have been cued or have a drink could please raise your glass in honor of you, Sue. We love you. We thank you. We thank you for everything you've done to support families and for leading us to multiple clinical trials. Here is to you. Cheers. Yes. Cheers. 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 And when you get a moment, after you've had a chance to drink your bubbly, please, this is bubbly too. we would really love to hear from you. Everybody would love to hear from you, please.
Thank you so much, Blythe. The surprises of the day have been absolutely overwhelming. But thank you, and Stacy and Orly and everyone from the bottom of my heart. You're so kind. I'm the lucky one who got to work with all of you. These last few weeks have been flooded with memories, lessons learned, and thoughts about the future. All are tied to the people I've met here. You must know the line from the movie Jerry Maguire, "You had me at hello." That's exactly how I felt when I attended my first annual family conference and saw the children's beautiful big eyes and long eyelashes. The late onset adults all greeted me warmly and were so glad to be together. Connection is the antidote to rare isolating diseases. I'll miss these moments. I learned early on to never judge our families, but to support always. Monica Gettleman, NTSAD mom and former board member, is known for saying, "NTSAD is one big family that you never want to be part of, but you're grateful to have." I loved my years in the corporate world, but I never got to see the firsthand impact of my work or to meet the people we helped. Working with families and advancing research were my main motivations for joining NTSAD. I joined in 2007, 6 weeks before our 50th anniversary gala. And on my first day, I learned that the invitations hadn't yet been printed. I quickly discovered that at a small patient advocacy organization, there's much to accomplish with limited resources, but lots of passion. I was both thrilled and nervous to have the heavy responsibility of leading NTSAD's 50-year legacy forward. The people I met during my first few weeks made an enduring impression on me, like Charlie and Gaylord, grandparents of Hayden and Cameron, who you've heard about tonight, who were both affected by Tay Sachs. I saw how the Lord family could still hold joy as well as their grief at the same time. It put me on the path of learning how families coped and found purpose after loss. And working with the Tay Sachs Gene Therapy Consortium researchers starting in 2007, I learned we must have urgency and patience at the same time. Urgency because the progression of these diseases is relentless, and patience because there are so many unknowns in cutting-edge science. The consortium, which you heard about, led by Miguel Sena Estevez, set a huge goal to initiate a gene therapy clinical trial for both Tay Sachs and Tanhof diseases. Our families raised significant funds over the years and always listened to Miguel's family conference updates with rapt attention. After many twists and turns along the way, the only constant was the team's commitment to finding treatments. 11 years later, their gene therapy programs were licensed to Axovant, now Scio Gene Therapies. Dr. Cynthia Tift and her colleagues at NIH treated the first GM1 patient just 2.5 years ago. And early this year, Dr. Florian Eichler and his team at Mass General treated the first patient in the Tay Sachs and Tanhof clinical trial. 14 years ago, I imagined it would be amazing to have one clinical trial when I concluded my time at NTSAD. And today there are 9 trials, 1 completed and 8 that are recruiting across all 4 diseases: Tay Sachs, Tanhof, GM1, and Canavan disease. Our wildest dreams came true. Thanks to all involved, especially the patients and caregivers who shared their stories, participated in numerous clinical studies, and provided valuable information over the years. I will deeply miss you. Thank you to our collaborators who have dedicated their careers to seeking treatments, taking care of children and adults, or designing clinical trials. I'll miss working with all of you. The achievements we shared with you tonight were made possible because in 1957, 3 couples, the Berkmans, Dunkels, and Sussmans, whose young children were affected by Tay Sachs, came together to raise money for research. Their legacy, NTSAD, the organization they founded, lives on today. We also honor the memory of all the children who are no longer here, including my cousin. Their short lives taught us much and inspired us to reach today's milestones. I envision a bright future for NTSAD. All things are possible for our strong patient community with our dedicated network of collaborators. There will be more tools and therapies to improve patients' daily lives. There will be FDA-approved treatments, and NTSAD will continue to be an inclusive, welcoming, and cohesive patient community, and will continue to all be in this together. NTSAD is in capable hands and will flourish. Welcome to Kathy Flynn. I'd like to give my personal thanks to so many of you, but I hope you'll understand that I have limited time tonight. So first, I'd like to thank the board of directors, and especially the board presidents who served with me: Bradley Campbell, Tim Lord, Kevin Romer, Sherry Ungerleiter, Brian Manning, Blythe, and now Stacy. All of you care so deeply and collaborated with me in this life-changing role. And I want to thank the stellar staff members. First, Deanna, who just celebrated 25 years with NTSAD last December. Deanna, you have always been my wing woman. Thank you. Becky, thank you for the beautiful way you support our families, inspired always by Miss Elliott. Sydney, thank you for your incredible initiative, always with a smile. Valerie, thank you for your enthusiasm in being our first research director. Susan, you want me to be brief, so thanks, a lot. Thank you to my family, especially my parents, who always set an example for me and who, with my grandmother, taught me about writing thank you notes. Thank you to Dan, my husband, who makes me and others laugh every day and offers encouragement and support always. It means so much to me that you, our NTSAD community, as well as friends and family, joined us this evening and helped raise over, I think we're at 109,000 so far for our families, and we'd really love to get to 125. So I'm sure Sydney's going to send more links, but I want to thank you so much. I hope to stay connected with NTSAD and all of you. You are with me in my heart and soul as I take my next leap. So thank you. Blythe, you're on mute.
Sorry, in an example that I am truly live, my laptop totally froze. And so now I'm here with you on my phone. Susan Kelleher's worst nightmare. But I just want to say thank you, Sue. I'm going to miss you in this capacity. We all are. We're very excited about Kathy. Change is good, but change is hard. We're going to miss you. Everyone's going to miss you. Thank you for everything you've done for us and for how thoughtful you've been about this transition. And thank you to all of your community and all of the NTSAD community that has given so generously. And for